Okay, so tier 16 essences. So let me start by explaining the strat and why I do certain stuff and like what's different between tier 7 and like tier 16. So first and foremost, the tier. It's a tier 7 map and the other one's a tier 16 map. Those are like two very different like power levels. Tier 7 essences you can do with day 1 gear. You can do it in a 4 link if you really wanted to. I wouldn't suggest it though. Get at least a 5 link. They're like dirt cheap on trade, or especially right now you can get like a 6 link for just a couple of chaos. But yeah, tier 16 essences though, they will actually start to hit hard. And I would say like I don't have like a specific like DPS like number to say like if you have this amount of DPS you're good to do tier 16 essences, because barely I just don't care about that stuff anymore, and I don't even know like how much DPS. I mean, I can check like my check like tooltip, but it's not really like that accurate and whatnot, because I do like a bunch of like curses with my Svalin and my Kitavasters, so it's not really that accurate. But what I can say is like to know if you're ready for tier 16 essences is you just take one tier 16 map, you like alk it, you use like the same old essence tree that you have, and then you just try to kill like one essence. Like make sure you don't have like stupidly tank mods or whatever, like reduce crit or they have like more resistances. Just like a generic tier 16 alk map without that many, without ridiculous tank mods, and see how long it takes for you to kill the essence. If it takes you like 3 to 5 seconds or even less, then you're probably good. You have like good enough DPS to do tier 16s. If it takes you, for example, like 10 seconds just to kill like one essence, you are not ready for tier 16s, and it's probably better to just do tier 7s until you can upgrade gear to do tier 16s if you wanted to. So yeah, so that's just like my main like main that's how we can like tell if you're ready for tier 16. Just run a tier 16 map, kill it, try to kill a tier 16 essence. If it's 3 to 5 seconds, you kill it and like pretty easy, then go ahead and you can transition to tier 16s. If it takes you more than 10 seconds and you're actually like dying, or you have to like run for your life and whatnot, then you're probably not yet ready. So you just keep upgrading gear until you feel like you're actually ready. Alright, that being said, why tier 16s? Mainly because you're not gonna hit like a level, you're not gonna level up if you just do tier 7 map. You're not gonna hit like, yeah, you're just not gonna level up. They're just like way too like low level and stuff. Like tier 7 maps are like, these are like monster level 84 compared to like monster level 83. That's like a difference of like 9 levels. And that's like a lot in terms of XP. So that's why you eventually want to transition into tier 16s. Also, you can't get like much of the juicy new juicy loot, like for example like nightmare maps and stuff and whatnot. And then uh you also basically just want to do everything at like tier 16 at the end, which is like the main goal is to like get all 4 void stones and then make sure all of your maps are like tier 16s. That is like the end game of PoE after all. But it's just so that we just start with tier 7 essences just to make it easier for us to transition into tier 16 eventually. That's the key word. Eventually. We won't go immediately into tier 16s because tier 16 essences are just will just body us and just completely destroy us. So we start with tier 7s and then eventually grab like a few hundred divines or whatever, and then you can upgrade the build to do tier 16. So what I do though with tier 16 is just not, it's just not simply just tier 16 essences. It's not like simply Alk and go tier 16s. Then that would not make it any different from the tier 7s. What I do with tier 16 maps is specifically I run 8 mod maps. So the reason why I run 8 mod maps and not the simple Alk and go is because we want the monster pack size. So this one has 40 pack size, this one has 41, this one has 41. I have like a couple more 8 mod maps over here somewhere. This one is 38, 38, 43. So the average like pack size that you get for 8 mods is gonna be around 40. Like 40 pack size is gonna be like the average pack size, which is what we want. Because normally, if you just do like a normal alk, if you just like alk a tier 17, tier 7 map, let's grab one. Oh, here's one. Like this one's like an alk tier 17. You can see there's only 27 pack size over here, which normally you don't really care about when you're starting out doing essences, because you just want to get like some divines as possible. But when you're trying to min max essences, the only stat here that matters, quant doesn't matter. We get guaranteed essences. Rarity doesn't matter. We get guaranteed essences. The only thing that matters for like this S strat is pack size, and that is because of the scarab that makes this work in the first place. Calcification, not that one. That's adaptation. Calcification. Calcification says that rares that are natural inhabitants of the area are imprisoned by essences. The keyword here is rare monsters, and they're supposed to be natural inhabitants. That's why we combo it with adversaries, which will just add 8 additional packs per scarab that are natural inhabitants. Basically, if we use Calci alone on the map, we're not really gonna get that much. But if we add adversaries, that's basically 8 packs of rare monsters, and another 8 packs is a total of 16. That's why we do Calci, double adversaries, Ascent, and Stability. This is like the scarab setup, which is the same as tier 7 essences. But we're gonna take it one extra step, and we're gonna have to boost the second part of the calcification, which is the natural inhabitants. And how do we do that? We scale pack size. By scaling pack size, we naturally get more rares per map. And we can take it one step further, and we look for the like the top line over here, 26% increased number of rare monsters. This will enhance your natural inhabitants to turn into rare monsters, which basically means more essences using calcification. And that's why there's a heavy emphasis on pack size, and we don't, like I said, we don't care about quant, and we don't care about rarity. We only care about pack size, and that's how we get more essences per map. So basically, by using these kinds of maps, if you can run them, we're gonna be getting like more essences thanks to calcification. So more pack size equals more rares equals more essences via calci. So that's the reason why I run 8 mod maps specifically, and then not just like generic like tier 16 like Alk and Go maps, like for example this one. If you just like run this map, even if we like for example exalt it to like 6 mods, there's only 33% pack size, which is still like significantly less than like the 40 average that you can get from 8 mods. And that's why 8 mod maps over tier 16 mods. Otherwise, if you're just running like tier 16, normal tier 16s, it's probably better to just do tier 7s then, if you're not gonna like scale pack size. Unless you just really want the XP though. But if you're gonna do tier 16s, this is like the best time to actually start doing 8 mod maps. And we're even gonna boost those 8 mod maps by having a map mod effect, like map mod effect passive tree. As you can see, we call this like the top hat over here, this inverted triangle. All of these nodes gives 2% explicit modifiers of your map. Basically what it means, it will take like these modifiers that you have on the map. For example, let's say this, the third mod, the monsters deal 108 physical damage with lightning. That gets boosted by these nodes over here, which means instead of 108 in the map itself, it's probably gonna be around 154 or 160. I don't remember like the exact computation, but basically it's gonna make your map harder. Basically, by adding these nodes over here, by adding the top hat, these explicit the effect of explicit modifiers, the map mod effect, it's gonna make the map harder, but it's also gonna make the map juicier. And specifically for our purposes, it will turn this pack size, instead of let's say like 43, it's gonna turn to like 60 something, or like close to 60, like an average of like 60 pack size, which basically means we're gonna be boosting more natural rares, which means more essences from Calci. So yeah, so to recap, it's 8 mod maps to get more base pack size, and then we juice up that pack size from getting these map mod effects. So there's like several instances over here. If you search here, let's see, map mod effect. Yeah, I have like these ones over here. There's like 30% increase from your maps, and then there's like 3% uh per fragment. That means like 5 scarabs, that's 15% increased effect. So let's actually calculate that. So that's 32 plus 15. And then there's another 2% of per explicit modifier. We're going to be running 8 mod maps. That means that's going to be 2 times 8. That's plus 16. So your maps are going to be like 63% more harder compared to like the normal like base mods that you have over here. So yeah, maps are harder, but are also juicier. This is like very basic PoE like endgame juicing. Is you run 8 mod maps with map mod effect. So this 43 pack size, let's do like 43 times 1.63. It's not gonna be exactly 70 because there's like some computations I don't really understand really, but it's gonna be at least like 65% pack size or whatever. Or like gonna be close to 70, but not exactly 70. So yeah, that's why we run 6 mod maps. I mean 8 mod maps, and that's why we run this specific tree with juices like explicit modifiers, which you don't really see from the essence tree, like the tier 7, because that tree we want to make the essences as easy as possible. So we don't really want to use explicit map mods to make our maps harder, which means stronger hitting essences that are tankier, which means we just die more often. So for tier 7 essences, the idea is as easy as it gets, as easy as possible. For tier 16 essences, which we want it as juiced up as it gets. This is why it's called like a tier 16 juiced essence strat. Okay, so I've explained pack size, I've explained why I explained 8 mod maps. And we're still gonna use the same scarabs, like I said. But it's just gonna be around 20%, 20 to 25% more essences compared to like tier 7s. And the next is like the extra layers of juicing that I add. So for this league, we've added astrolabes. And unfortunately, there's no essence astrolabe, which kind of sucks. Which means it's like a bit of a nerf for essences. Because back then we used to get like 3 essences from the map device craft, but now we don't get them anymore. They added it back by using the essence scarabs. So this used to be like 2 additional in-person monsters, now it's 3. But we don't want to use the scarab because Calci is just like way better. So we don't even get like any benefits. So we basically just lost 3 additional essences. Period. But what we could do to make up for that is by using these templar astrolabes. So disclaimer, these are not cheap. These are like 80C each right now. If you look for like templar astrolabes, they are not cheap. They're like they're a bit cheap. They're like 70k, that's okay. But still, like I would actually add them on my maps. Here. Let me grab an astrolabe. Okay, so I will use one on City Square. So you still get like your generic astrolabe loot if you didn't know. Like, the map is divided into 4 quadrants over here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and depending on the quadrants, by the time you finish the astrolabe, you will get different memory vaults. So one's dedicated to like Isla, one's Venarius, one's for Zana, one's for Valdo. And each of them give like specific loot. For example, top left will give you unknown exceptional support gems and stack decks mainly. On the top right, it's gonna give you greater multi-strike with valuable gems like 2020 gems and sometimes facetor lenses. For the bottom left, you're gonna get greater unleash, and this one gives you more like puzzle boxes and just basically like raw divs. because you get like 1 or 4 valuable currency. For the bottom right, we get maps basically. We get maps and some puzzle boxes, and the greater spell cascade. So yeah, we're gonna be doing it here on the top right. So we're gonna be getting the multi-strike one, and I've actually gotten the multi-strike, which I sold it for like 6 divs right now, and a bunch of valuable gems. Like I sold an Empower for like 100 chaos, and Enlighten for like 2 divs. The invention support is useless. It's like 3 chaos or something, and the Facetor lens can sell for like around 90 to 100 chaos or something. Yeah, but that is not like the reason why I use these astrolabes. The reason why I use these astrolabes is because I was like looking for ways to juice up pack size. Because like I said earlier, pack size is everything for the essence stat. So I just want more pack size. I checked the astrolabes, none of them. Like yeah, if you search essence, there's zero things. There's literally nothing here for essence. There's one for like map bosses, there's for Harvest, Breach, Abyss, Blight, Ritual, Ultimatum, Legion, etc. But if you go here on Astrolabe modifiers, if you actually like look on these modifiers and what you could get, you will actually notice that there are some you could use. For example, pack size. How's it spelled? I think it's like two words. Yeah, here pack size. You can get 4 to 6% increased pack size on your maps, which is gonna be good, which means basically more essences for us. Also, if I search for like rare monsters, I could see that we can get 5 to 15% increased rare monsters on your map. Like this will stack on top of like the increased rare monsters that you have on your 8 mods. Which basically just means it's just basically like a more multiplier. And that's like the main reason why I use astrolabes is to mainly fish for these. I fish for the increased rare mods, and I fish for the increased pack size. If I roll that on my astrolabe, each succeeding map for the astrolabe will get that bonus, which basically means more profit. On top of like the natural things that you can get from the astrolabe, the memory vault, the greater multi, the valuable 2020 gems, the Facetor lens, etc. I don't even care about that. I only care about juicing my pack size and juicing my rare mobs. That is why I use astrolabe. If you find astrolabes too risky or they're too expensive for you, it's totally fine if you don't run astrolabes. You can just run generic 8 mods and that's it. And speaking of 8 mods, I would suggest that you buy your 8 mod maps. No, so normally when you want to buy 8 mod maps is that you just like go here, you type map tier 16 and then you type for stat filters, you go for modifiers, and then you type 8, click search. It will give you like if you go to like these dudes over here, you will see they will sell like a bunch of 8 mods. There's a good amount of people just farming like this one. This was like an 8 mod map right here. The problem is it's probably not going to be good for your rejects or whatever, you know, like you don't want to run them for your rejects. So you need to actually like look for like different like 8 mod merchants to look for like 8 mod maps and whatnot. But the beauty about just having a generic map right now, which is just like a generic tier 16 map right here, is that we don't need to look for the map layout anymore. We can just look for generic tier 16 maps. And what I have done is I have my rejects over here. So this is my rejects. So as you can see here, reflect, blah, 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 blah. I input that on the trade website. And I use the trade website and not the in-game. I'm gonna go into why I use that in a little bit. So as you can see, this is basically my rejects. So not reflect, not minus max, not no regen, leech, block, hexproof, avoid elemental ailments, and 8 mods. And then I actually have here, it needs to be 8 mods, it needs to be 16 tier 16 maps. I also look for increased rare monsters because we want that specifically for essence farming. We get like a huge boost of essences. And I search for 40 pack size. And then you also want to include this one, implicit area is influenced by, because if you don't have this mod here, it will show you Shaper Guardian maps. And it's just annoying having to scroll through like a bunch of these maps and not just see tier 16s. So to remove that, you add this one, implicit. Area is influenced by any for shiver specifically, but you can just put any. So there we go. And then I press enter, and then all of these are gonna be like 8 mod maps that are gonna be good for my reject. So as you can see, all of these mods are good, and it has specific rare monsters. The reason why I do it on the trade website instead of in-game over here, because I could also do that in-game here, and just, you know, like type, for example, number of rare monsters. Let's say I don't want elemental ele reflect, then like here and that. I use the trade website is because we can use third-party programs with this, which is better trading. What better trading basically is, so for example, you can just save the current trade over here. So for example, you set all of this up right here. Oh wait, for example here, this is like a totally fresh like trade page. I go to better trading. I've already saved my Ice Nova 8 mod map. I one click this. It saves my modifiers. If I go back here, all of my mods are basically saved here. So this is just like a way you can do it. And you can find the better trading on the Chrome Web Store. If you're using Opera GX, I think this will still work since it's Chromium based or whatever. Basically like better Path of Exile trading. Yeah, you can just literally search better trading PoE and it pops up here. So yeah, that's what you can do. If you don't want to use this, or you don't want to use extensions or whatever, what you can do is you set up your rejects over here. You know, your like the mods you don't want to run or whatever. If you didn't like know, you can use poe.re, and this will allow you to make your customized reject. So you just pick all the mods you don't want over here on the left side. You pick the mods that you do want here on the right side, which is like just one mod. We only want increased number of rares. Sometimes we don't even have it, so we just have like this code over here. We can just copy this code, and then we can go here into our maps, paste it here, and then here it says like all of the mods that are actually viable that you've actually listed over here. This is just so you don't need to like look to your maps one by one. You need to like scour them. For example, this mod, is it good for my map? So you like read all the mods one by one, blah 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 blah. With the rejects, you input everything here, all the mods you don't want, you copy, you paste it here, and then it instantly filters out for you. This is also useful if you're buying maps too. If there's like a bunch of maps from the trader, I will showcase this later. You can just input your rejects and you can see all of the maps from the bulk from the async trade that you could buy, and that's good for your build. I will buy some maps later to actually showcase this showcase this like feature. And then of course, since we're doing essences, we just add this one for increased number of rares, which is basically the same that we did over here. This is basically the same. I just copied everything from here, like every single mod I don't want, into the trade website, and then I saved it on better trading over here. If you don't want to use better trading, you can just copy this link. You can just copy this, paste it on a notepad or whatever, or paste it somewhere. There we go. And just save it. That's like a way to do it. I just want everything integrated though, so that's why I just use better trading. So anyway, so we have our like rejects, we have our maps. So now it's just like we just need to buy the maps. So okay, we just go here, we input, we travel to hideout. Okay, go in game. And then this map right here, this is good for us because it's actually what you want. So 6 chaos for a map. Also, if you've actually done your rejects over here, you can also use Awaken P with trade. If you didn't know, you could save your rejects over here. As you can see, I have like a bunch of rejects over here for different builds. And then you want to just add your rejects, and then you add no. No is basically what you add if you want to get like increaser monsters. For example, here, without increaser monsters, this is like the no over here. So you add a space and then you put no. As you can see, there's no more maps here that are actually good for essences. So we just go to the next The next dude. Okay, this dude over here. Okay, here we go. So this one actually has multiple ones that we could buy. So we buy this one, and since this is one with the rejects with no, you could buy this map, and this map. All of these have all mods that are good for my build or doable my build with the increased rare mobs. And then we could check his other tabs. Okay, we could. This one's another 6 chaos. He's selling more, no more. And now, but this is what the rejects is good, right? Instead of having to read all of the mods here, we can just input our rejects, and then it literally tells us which mods that are safe for us with the rare mod, with the increased rare mods that we can buy. And then we can go next again. Right, we're going to Raycon. I'm just gonna buy like a couple since I actually did run out. So this one is good, but there's no other.
Could do worse, Exile.
There's no other mods here. It's like usable for me. We'll just go next again. Like if you're actually having trouble like finding like more maps over here, for example, you're only finding one or two, but you want to find, for example, like a whole tab or whatever. So like these ones over here at the very top of the trade listing, these ones get bought out by everybody. If you want to actually like find like more maps you could buy, what you can do is you can go here to Chaos Orb Equivalent. You could just put like a minimum price. So for example, the minimum price right now is like 6 chaos. If you look for like 7 chaos dudes, these are probably like lower on the trade listings, which means players probably haven't really bought out from them yet. So let's check here. Oh, yeah, see? There we go. We have like a lot more.
Not bad.
So we increased the price by 1 chaos, and then we got more listings that we could buy. We could even take it one more step. Instead of like adding 1 chaos, we add 2 chaos. We go for 8 chaos right here. And then we search for this dude right here. Like this dude is listed 10 hours ago. He probably never sold any maps. Like there we go, like a bunch more. There we go. And since you've rejected them already, like you can guarantee like all of these maps are gonna be like good maps with high quant and the increased number of rares. Okay, let's just buy like a couple more because I do need like more maps. I might as well use this time to actually buy maps. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. So there we go. Now we have our maps to run. We have our maps to run. We have our Atlas tree. We have the same scarabs, and now we just run the maps like easy peasy. Okay, so what I haven't done though, like I've added like a new twist for this league though, because of the astrolabes. I actually use these like whole Mirage maps. So this one is like completely optional. It will definitely add cost to your map. Because what I do is there are these maps over here. The one that says like contain an empowered Mirage which covers the whole map. So basically you get double the map. You get double the size of the map, which is like really good. Because like you save up on scarabs for the like for one thing, and you just get like a good like map that's basically doubled. What am I saying? Like I'm rambling. So that's good, especially if you hit this pack size over here, and if you hit the increased rare monsters. What it essentially means is because like each astrolabe will last for around. They last for like 3 to 5 maps each. Because normally you're supposed to do like a chain of them. But if you're gonna do astrolabes, remember to take this node over here. This will allow you to repeat the same map over and over for astrolabes. If you don't have this node over here, if you remove it, once you do city square over here, it's gonna be removed. Which means you're gonna have to do like the other shitty maps that you don't want to run. So that's why you have to use this synthesized stability over here. The downside of synthesized stability is like it's randomized which map you can remove. For example, here. If I do city square, any of these maps can be removed. Which is good since we can run city square over and over. But for example, if you take away if we take away Primordial Pool, for example, if we take away Primordial Pool, there's no way that we could hit these other three maps over here. Which means if Primordial Pool gets removed from the random thing from the Atlas node over here, what happens is all of these four maps get removed. That is the one downside of crystallized stability, or synthesized stability rather. Which is why you only get around, instead of this is like normally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is like the maximum roll. You don't get 9 uses from one astrolabe. You only get 3, 4, 5, like 3 to 5. Because of how synthesized stability works and depending on your RNG. Which means like these rolls over here, these are like very rare. So whenever I roll this increased number of rares, or I do pack size, or I get like pack size on the astrolabe mod, I would, instead of running my 8 mod maps, I would actually use these whole Mirage maps. So I basically get double the value, and I basically stretch out the good roll of these pack size and rare mods. And like we've told you earlier, the only thing that's important here is pack size. We don't care about quant, we don't care about rarity. So what I do here is I run one of these like tier 16. I get one of these whole Mirage maps. You can actually buy them for, I have like fresh one over here. You buy these ones for 40 chaos or 45 chaos each. You ID them, and then now you have to roll the map specifically with like the increased number of rares. Basically the same, like basically like this shit over here. So we have to do outscour. Oh wait, I hit it, but I'm stupid. Okay, there we go. We heal. Oh wait, we don't have the number of rares. Wrong rejects. It's this one. Okay. So yeah, this will take a while. So yeah, this is why I don't really. Okay, there we go. I don't suggest doing this for every single map. I suggest you just run generic 8 mods. Unless you hit the astrolabe mod for rare pack size or like rare mods or pack size. Where am I? I'm rambling already. In game, yes. And then I exalt this. Like, so you get like the maximum pack size. As you could see, this pack size is only 29. Which is, compared to this, these ones are 41, 38. How do you get, so to get the remaining pack size, I need at least 10. I need 10 pack size to make up for an 8 mod map. If I just run this map alone, it's not going to be as profitable or not even as worth it. It's better to just run like generic 8 mod maps, even if I get like double. How we counteract that is we use one Maven pack size chisel, which is this one. This is proliferation. And these ones are gonna be 55 chaos each, or something. Like 50 chaos, 50, 55. Let's just say 55. So the map will cost you 45 chaos, plus the scour alks that you use to roll them, and then we use 55 C chisel. So each one of these maps are 100 chaos each. So these are only like, the 8 mod maps are 6 to 8 chaos each. These ones are 100 chaos. But these are special because we will only use them for increased rare mods or pack size. Like, that is the excess step that I actually decided to take. If you just want to simplify the strat, don't bother with these maps, don't bother with the chisels, don't bother with the astrolabes. Just use this Atlas tree, and then just run them with your generic 8 mods and you're good. You're good as that. But for me, I personally want to like min-max like essence farming. So that's why I will use this prolif chisel, which adds pack size, and this will turn the 29 pack size into 39 because it gives me an additional 10%. And that is how I make these maps basically comparable to the 8 mod maps in terms of pack size at least, which is the only thing that matters. It is lower quant, lower rarity, but for essence farming, it doesn't matter. Which means I will get double the... I will basically get double the... like the Mirage. Mainly for the astrolabe. Okay, like, that's about it. Really. It's just simply that. It's simply using 8 mod maps. Use 8 mod maps, use map mod effect scaling, which will make your maps harder but also juicier. And then if you want to go like the excess step like I do, you run astrolabes, you do like a whole Mirage map thing, like whole Mirage map for like 40-45 chaos, and then you use one prolift chisel on it to get comparable pack size as an 8 mod map. But yeah, like I used to actually just run these only, but I found them too tedious to roll that I decided to just go back to just running 8 mods, generic 8 mod, just like I just run an 8 mod here, and then I just actually let me just run an 8 mod map while I'm rambling. So yeah, I just run like an 8 mod map.
What you perceive,
and then if I hit like the pack size chisel, for example, let me show you an example. So here is like normal city square stuff. We rush the boss. So what the astrolabe does is it actually makes the map bosses harder, as you can see. So map bosses have increased difficulty and reward. So the map bosses will be harder to kill. So that might be a problem if you don't really have like that good single target, but if that's not the case, then those don't run astrolabes. Okay, as you can see here, now we have like an increased quantity of items found in your maps. This is like random. So the astrolabe mods will basically like randomize which one you will get depending on which astrolabe you will get. For example, if you have fruiting astrolabe, this is harvest, you will get the generic astrolabe mods plus harvest specific mods. So like other like harvest stuff or whatnot. Like the most generic one is gonna be Templar, which means we only need to kill the map boss to get like the astrolabe done, and then it will roll us pack size or it will roll us rare mod. So I'm just basically doing this over and over until I see that I have increased rare mods. For example, let's look. So these ones actually have different ones over here. So for example, this one maze, you can see the increased pack size. This one's also terrace, increased pack size. But I don't want to run maze or terrace. I will only run city square. And that is why I do take this node over here, so I can run city square over and over. So yeah, so I basically just keep on running city square until I hit this one, the pack size maps over here. Once I hit the pack size maps, I will stop running the 8 mod maps. And I will just use the rolled whole Mirage map with the pack size chisel maps instead, because I will get more value out of them. Like that's about it. So yeah, there we go. This is still like a generic thing over here. So yeah, like I said, like if it takes you like you try to kill the essence over here. If it takes you 3 to 5 seconds, you're probably good. You have good enough damage. There we go, we just killed this. And then there we go, it died in like 2-3 seconds or whatever. Go next. Do this, do that, do this. There we go, it died really quickly. This one also died quickly. Then yeah. But if you try to kill these essences, and they just take you, let's say, like a godly amount of time. If it takes you more than 5 seconds to kill one, then just drop down. You're not yet ready for tier 16s. Tier 16 essences. Like, increase your damage, basically. So, over here. Oh, I need these for the challenge. I need to open those. Okay, this one is, like, tankier, because it's like a multi-mod essence with spell resistance. And they mainly do spell damage. Like, that one's fine. That one's fine if it takes, like, longer. But if it's your generic 2 mod essences, and it takes you a long time to kill, then, yeah, you need more damage. And as long as like you can like kill them like relatively safely though. Like my build is with Svalin. I have like block, so I can basically face tank these essences without any problem. So yeah, let me just like finish this map over here. There we go. So yeah, this will give you like a lot more essences compared to like the generic Alcan Go tier 7 strat. mainly because we are starting to scale pack size. So you can see there's like a lot more essences to kill. Mainly because this map has okay, let me look over here. Yeah, as you can see, this map has 65% pack size. Yeah, pack size equals more rares equals more essences, which basically means more profit for us. Okay, and then if you actually enter the Mirage too, we're also gonna get like more modifier, like more. We're gonna get more free essences too. So yeah.
The Atlas twists.
Go here. There we go. Free
Be
essences.
gone from here.
One down. Other down. Check over here. Are there essences over here? There's no essences over here. We go to the other side. Okay, so if you're actually doing like a whole Mirage map, like the whole map is a Mirage. Literally the whole map. So you basically get ×2 of your map. That is why if I roll the pack size shit over here, that is why I want to maximize that as much as possible. So that's why I spend 100 chaos to actually basically just duplicate the map and like prolong like the really good maps. Okay, this one is annoying. We just won't stay still. Oh god, that's chaos damage. It went through my fucking mana. Okay, there we go. Do this, do that, and then we just leave. Right, here we go. Mirage equals free loot for us, basically. Lighting totem minions. Which one? This over here. Oh, she's so tanky. Never mind. She's dead. Time to leave. Okay, that's the end of the map. Okay. So, yeah. That's it. And then you stash your essences over here. Then you refill your Val Orb. I actually personally like taking at least 2 stacks of Val Orbs on me. Because like these maps are like... As you can see, I've used... I had like a full... I had 40. I only have 21 now. I used 19. So it's like quite common that you actually go through like a whole stack of Val Orbs in one of these maps just because there's a lot more essences. So I like to take at least 2, if not like 3 stacks of Val Orbs. Just so I don't need to waste a portal and grab more Val Orbs. And then here, next map. If I check this over here. If it didn't say that I rolled pack size like one of these maps, I just chuck in a new 8 mod. If it does say pack size, I will chuck in one of these maps that I specifically rolled for whole Mirage map with increaser monsters with a pack size chisel to max the pack size, and that's about it. You do that over and over, and it's like, you know, like 20 to 25 divines an hour. Like I would say, because you do get like more essences from tier 17s because of pack size scaling or map mod effect scaling, which increases their pack size. And that's about it, really. Is there anything else I'm missing? Let me check. I mean, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, we have better trading if you want to use it. I'm gonna link down this PV planner over here. Essences are actually going up in price. Really good, really good. Like deafening essences are actually, you know, Scorn is your big ticket. But even if you like roll these like generic ones, like they're still good. I still only roll like suffering, dread, anguish, doubt, greed. Like these ones over here are what I these ones over here. These are what I reroll using the harvest bench. It's like, for example, if I grabbed one of these, let's say Dread, I will go here and then reroll essence into something different. Like, okay, Fear. Good enough. Also, if you didn't know, you can also reroll these. I only sell horrors. I reroll the rest into horrors because I prefer doing it that way, and it's like easier to liquidate and more profitable. There we go. There we go. 6. I could probably sell that for a div right now. Yeah, I can sell it for a div. Like 1 for 6.
I'll
There you go.
put the word out.
1 div profit. Easy peasy. And like that's about it for like the tier 16 juice. So sorry this was like a bit more rambly, but yeah, there was like some stuff like I had to like emphasize, like for example why I run 8 mod maps, why I run like a top hat atlas, why pack size matters and how it affects like calcification, basically more pack size, more rares, more essences. So it's basically just more pack size scaling and whatnot. And the thing is, like, it needs to be natural inhabitant, so that's why you can't do anything fancy. Like, for example, domination of like this one, the evolving shrine. So what the evolving shrine does is actually it will turn your magic monsters into rares. It can do that when you kill them. The problem with that is they spawn in as magic monsters. And it doesn't really work for Calci because it will only say that natural inhabitants are imprisoned by essences. This only occurs whenever you load in a new map. So all rares that are natural inhabitants, they turn into essences. Anything that gets spawned by other mechanics, for example, a rare spawns in from, let's say, Exarch or something, or you use Evolution Scarab to turn your magic into a rare, it will not work for Calci. That's why the only way to really juice it is by just getting generic pack size and getting generic, and this one over here. This is like the most rare monsters you can have. There's others like rare mobs over here. Which one is it? Like rare monsters are... It's this one. Like Divinity. This one doesn't add more rare monsters though. It will only give you like Pantheon Touch. So yeah, so for rare mob scaling, this is like the best one over here. Adversaries with juiced up 40% pack size, and that's how you get 20 to 25% more essences. Okay, this rambling has been way too long, so yeah. That's about it, and yeah, hopefully you can farm more. Yeah, like farm more dibs, farm more chaos, like go farm a mirror if you want to. Like, I mean, it's possible. It just takes some grinding to do. And that's it for me. I'll see you guys probably next week. I don't know if I'll make another video. Nothing really stands out to me that much. I mean, I guess I can do a video about harvest, but whatever. I mean, okay, yeah, I'll leave a... Yeah, if you want to like hit up or like go talk to me, like hit up. I have the syndicate if you want to join my Discord and whatnot and whatever. If you want to get like my loot filter sounds or like the written guide for the Atlas strats and whatnot, and whatever I come up with that I don't make a video about. Or if you just want to like hang out and chat, like, you know, it's fine. We're very noob friendly over here. We're basically the Essence Cult. Although I do not advertise it as the Essence Cult because that's scary. But we are essentially the Essence Cult. Alright, that's it. Bye bye. See you next league.